Hello friends, welcome to the world of Maths by Amiya. In this learning concept video, just before CAT 17, we are going to learn or better revise the concept of to and fro. We have a data set followed by 6 questions. I would suggest please pause the video and try to solve all these 6 questions. I hope you have solved the questions. Now let's check the method or better revise all 6 questions with the concepts. Question number 1 is find when and where they meet for the ninth time. When the question is of the meeting, it is always the easiest question of to and fro. The meeting means their direction should be opposite. If it is given their direction should be opposite, it means they meet. Sometimes question setter asks question meeting means interactions, but don't worry, CAT, chat or IFT won't create any ambiguity. When they ask about the meeting, they would mention directions are opposite or meeting means directions are opposite. Otherwise, they use the word interactions. Okay. When we start from the opposite ends, in the first meeting, the total distance traveled by d. For the second meeting, each traverse total distance is of nothing but the 2d. And for the subsequent meetings, they always travel the total distance of 2d. So we can say in the first meeting, the distance traveled is d. In the second meeting, the total distance traveled is nothing but 2d plus d is nothing but 3d. In the third meeting, the total distance traveled is nothing but 2d plus d is nothing but the 5d when they start from the opposite end. So we can say in the nth meeting, the total distance traveled by the both parties is nothing but 2n minus 1d, where d is the length of track. I hope this one is clear. This is the total distance traveled by both the parties. Now, we can use the same concept in the time. For the first meeting time, if we say the time is t, then for the second meeting time, the total time traveled by both the parties is nothing but 2t. And for the third meeting, the total travel time again would be of the 2t mode, time, seconds or hour. So in the first meeting, if the time is t, then in the second meeting, the total time is 2t plus t is nothing but 3t from the starting time. For the third meeting, it is nothing but 5t from the starting time. So we can say for the nth meeting, the total time is nothing but 2n minus 1t. So these are concept or the formula for the meeting. We have to find the nth meeting. When means time. If we are going to find the time, that is nothing but 2 into 9 minus 1 into time, we need to find the first meeting time. How can we find the first meeting time? First of all, what is in the question? We have 150 kilometer. One person start from 30, that is point A. Another person start from point B with the speed of 50. For the first meeting time, our distance is nothing but 150 and the speed relative is nothing but 80. That is nothing but 15 upon 8 hours is the first meeting time. So for the ninth meeting time, it's nothing but 2 into 9 minus 1 into 15 by 8. So that is nothing but 17 into 15 by 8. This again becomes 255 divided by 8 hours. Or we can say 31 7 by 8 hours. These are total time from the starting point, from the start for ninth meeting. So this is the answer of the first part of the question number 1. Now question is where they would meet. For the where, generally we run the slower ones. Why? Even we can solve for the faster ones, but the slower ones give the smaller distance, so calculation would be easier. We know for the ninth meeting, the total time is nothing but 255 divided by 8. And the speed of the slower is nothing but 30 km per hour. So the total distance traveled by the slower is nothing but 255 divided by 8 into 30. That would be nothing but 956.25. Our track length is of the 150. So if we convert in the 150, that is nothing but 150 into 6 plus 56.25. We can say the length of track into even value plus 56.25 extra. What do we mean by even value? When we start from the point A, because we are working on a slower one is start from point A. The first round should be at B, the second round should be at A, third is at B, fourth is at A. Means even rounds completion is from the starting point only. So it's again a starting point. So the sixth round would be at A only and 56.25 extra. So the answer of the second part, where is what 56.25 from A. I hope this one is clear. So the answer of the first part, when, is nothing but 37.7 by 8 hours. Answer of the second part of question number 1, where, is what 56.25 from A. I hope this one is clear. Now solve the second question on this data. Our second question is, how many different interaction points would be there in the path if they each run 100 rounds? Means they run too many rounds, then we have to find how many times they would interact. The question is of the interaction. Okay, how would we solve the question of interactions? Again, I am drawing a path of 150 km, point A and point B. From the point A, the speed is of 30 km per hour. From point B, the speed is of the 50 km per hour. For the interaction point, we need to find how many times they would interact each other. The concept behind the interaction is, in the one round of the faster, there is one interaction. This is the condition until unless they interact at extreme ends. If they interact at extreme end, there is no interaction in the next round. So what we have to find, how many rounds the faster would move to complete one process. What do we mean by to complete one process? The meaning of to complete one process means A is starting from, the first person is starting from A, should reach at A, and the second person is starting from B, should reach at B. So we have to find what should be the total time in the one process, and during this process how many times they would meet at extreme ends, because when they meet at the extreme ends there is no meeting or interactions in the next round. So we have to find at point A how many times they would meet, and at point B how many times they would meet. For the first one, at point A, for the one round, the total time is of the 5 hours of the fastest, and the total time is of the 3 hours of the second one. It's not the fastest, the first one. The second one is of the 3 hours. Since both are the odd numbers, it means they never interact at the extreme end. How comes? Now check. The first person reached at A after how many times? They would take total of the 5 hours from the A to B and 5 hours from B to A. So that is nothing but 5 into 2. And what we know, when we talk about the person which start from the point A and should come at A, means when they come at their own starting point, that would be of the even multiple. That is 5 into 4. Next would be 4, 5 into 2, 5 into 4, 5 into 6, and so on. Now talk about the second person. It would take 3 hours from B to A, then 6, then 9. When we go to the opposite end, that is always the odd multiple. And what I just said, since both the times are even numbers, so they won't interact at either A or B. Why so? Because these interaction point is always even, and this interaction point is always odd, so no interaction at A. Same happens at B. Starting point of the second one is B, so at B they would come at after 6 hours, then after 12 hours, then after 18 hours, and so on. But of the first person, from A to B is of the 5 hours, then of the 15 hours, that is the odd multiple, and so on. Since this one is always even and this one is always odd, so no interaction at B. Or we can say, when there is both times are odd, no interaction. For interaction must be at least one time should be even. So we can say no interaction in the at the starting point or the extreme ends. So in the one round of the faster, or in the each round of the faster, there is one interaction. Now we have to find when the process completes. So the first person to reach again the starting point of A is what? That is of the 10 hours, and in the multiple of 10 hours they would reach at A. That is the 50 speed, 150 distance, that is 336 hours. So after the 6 hours they would reach at again at B, the second person. So the LCM of 10 and 6 is nothing but 30 hours. So after 30 hours, they would again reach at their initial position. So after 30 hours, the process would again continue or repeats. And we know the one round of the faster is the one interactions, and there is no interaction at the extreme points. So in the each round of the faster, there should be one interaction. One round is of the 3 hours. So we can say if the one round of faster is of 3 hours, so in 30 hours the faster would complete nothing but 10 rounds. And each round of the fasters, they would interact once. So in the 10 round, there should be 10 interactions. So we can say there should be 10 different interaction points. After this, the process would repeat again. I hope this one is clear. Now, if they ask how many different meeting point would be there. So in the meeting point, we just need to solve with the ratio. The ratio of speed of faster to speed of slower is nothing but 5:3. So for the meeting, and since the directions are opposite of the starting, there should be nothing but 5 plus 3 is total is of the 8 meeting points if the question is of the meeting, is not of the interactions. If the question is of the overtake, so we can say the total 10 interactions in which 8 are the meeting, so 2 would be the overtake. So we have solved 3 questions in this question number 2. The total number of interactions would be of 10. How comes? We just find that in the 30 hours process would repeat and there is no interactions at extreme points, since both the time of one round is of the odd numbers. So in the 10 rounds there should be 10 interactions. If the question is of the meeting question is always easy. We just need to find the ratio of speed of faster to speed of slowest. If the directions are same, we just add 5 plus 3 is nothing but the 8 different meeting points. And for the overtake, we subtracted total minus meeting is nothing but 2 overtakes. So this is the answer of question number 2. I hope this one is clear. Now solve question number 3. When they interact for the 9th time after the start and where? This is one of the important questions. When they interact for the 9th time after the start and where? We just solved in the question number 2. There should be 10 interactions. And we have to find the 9th interaction. And we know what we know. In the one round of faster, one interaction. So we have to solve this question. Say this one is 150 kilometer is the distance. Point A, point B. At point A, speed is of 30, say the first person. At point B, speed is of the 50 of the second person. I hope this one is clear. Now we have to go for the 9th time. What do we mean by the 9th time? We know one meeting in the one round and no extreme point meeting. So we can say the 9th meeting would be in the 9th round. To start the 9th round, we completed the 8th round of the fastest round, that is the even rounds. The fastest should be again at B. The fastest should be again at B. And for the one round, the time of fastest is of nothing but the 3 hours. So we can say that for the 8 complete round, the fastest should have taken total is of the 24 hours. So we have 24 hours completed. And the fastest is at B, going towards A. Now we have to check in the 24 hours what would be the position of the first person or the slower one with the speed of 30. So in the 24 hours, the slower one completed nothing but 720 kilometers. We can say this one is nothing but 150 into 4 plus 120. What it's mean? It's mean 4 round of slower one plus 120 extra. The 4 is the even number. 4th round plus 120. So the first person or the slower person should have 120 kilometers far from the point A. Now we got the 8th round position. In the 8th round, the final 8th round lap, the first person or the fastest person, the second person should be at B and the first person should be at 120. Now we have to solve the meeting question. The total initial distance, since this one is 150, the first person completed the 120 kilometers, the initial distance or the distance between them is nothing but 30 kilometers. and this one is the 30, this one is 50. So we can say the speed relative is 80. So though they have taken 30 upon 80, that means nothing but 3 by 8 hours more than 24. So when the answer of when is 24 hours, 3 by 8 hours extra, and this is the answer of when they complete ninth time meeting. I hope this one is clear. Now the question is where. Just move anyone. We have 50 from here and we have to move 3 by 8. So we can say the second person or the fastest person have to travel 3 by 8 hours more with the 50. So this is nothing but 150 upon 8. This one is nothing but 18.75 kilometer. And from where? From B. So the where means what? 18.75 kilometer from B. And this is our answer of the where. How did I calculate each and everything? First, we know in the previous questions, one round of the fastest is the one meeting, and there is no meeting in the extreme point. So in each round of fastest, there is a one meeting. We have to calculate the ninth meeting time. So I have completed the 8th lap of the fastest and find the position of the fastest and the slowest and solve the question. You can solve question with the other process also, but it is one of the basic process, and for the CAT revision we generally use the basic process only, no shortcuts or the tricks. Now solve the question number 4. When they interact for the 11th time after the start and where. We know in the 10th meeting round and the 10th complete meeting round we have to work for the 30 hours. The 11th meeting is nothing but the first meeting after the 10th meeting, and the distance is 150 km. From the A, the speed is of the 30. From B, the speed is of the 50. And we have completed our 10 rounds or the 10 meetings. For the 11th time, our position should be same. The distance is 150, speed relative is 80. That is nothing but 150 upon 80. That is the 15 upon 8 is nothing but 1, 7 by 8. After 30 hours, we have to take this hour extra. So we can say for the when is nothing but 31, 7 by 8 for the 11th meeting. Because we know up to 10 meeting, up to 10, till 10 meetings, we have reached our initial positions only. Now where? This is an easy one. We have 15 by 8. Move anyone, that is in this time I am moving 15 by 8 into 30 from A position, that is nothing but 450 divided by 8, and this one is nothing but 56.25. So we are at 56.25 kilometer from A because we are moving 30 for the 11th meeting. For the 9th we have calculated for the 8th meeting, then proceed, or we can do the reverse of the 8th meeting and solve the question. So we have solved the question number 4. Now we have to solve question number 5. Overtake problem is the one of the toughest problem of the to and fro journey. So in the overtake problem, generally we plot the time graph. Generally people say this one is nothing but the GPS method, in which we can say this one is A, this one is B. The total distance is of nothing but 150 km. So instead of writing the horizontal, we are writing the vertical. And we know from A, the speed is of the 30, from B, the speed is of the 50. Okay. So first of all, we work on the 30 speed, then we work on the 50 speed, and we know after 30 hours, each and everything would repeat. If your speed is 30 and distance is 150, you would take 5. You would take the 5 hours. So say this one is the 5 hours. In the 5 hours, you start from A and reach the B. And after 5 hours, that means 5 to 10 from the B to A. Then after 5 hours from that is nothing but 10 to 15. Then 15 to 20. Then 20 to 25. Means after every 5 hours, we are going from the one end to another end. And we just work for the 30 hours because we know in the 30 hours, we are going to repeat the process. So this is what of the A with a speed of 30 and the one interval of the 5 hours. One interval means from the one end to another end. Now plot, and so this one is the direction. This one is the direction. A to B, B to A, then again A to B, then B to A, then A to B, then B to A. This is of the slower one with the speed of 30. Now we have to plot the speed diagram, or you can say the time distance diagram of the 50. To remove any ambiguity, we are going to use a black pen for the 50. If speed is 50 and distance is 150, so we are going to work on the 3 hours intervals. Starting from here, the 3 should be here. So in the 3 hours, we are going from B to A, and there should be one meeting. Why meeting? Because direction is opposite. From 3 to 6, the 6 should be here. Again, we are going from A to B. This one is going from B to A, so this should be again meeting. From 6 to 9, 9 should be here. We can say this point should be our first overtake. How comes? Because we are going from B to A. This one is also going from B to A, so this one is the first overtake. Now 9 to 12, I'm going to plot, this one is 12. Then we have to go for the 15. After 18, then we have to go for 21. Then we have to go for 24. Then we have to go for 27. Then the final is nothing but 30. So 9 to 12. Again we have nothing but meeting. Then 12 to 15, again we have a meeting. Then 15 to 18, again we have a meeting. Then 18 to 21, again we have a meeting. Then 21 to 24, we have overtake. How comes? That is the A to B, A to B, overtake. Then 24 to 27, we have a meeting. Then we have a meeting. We have total 8 meetings and 2 overtakes. When after start, we will overtake A for the first time. When means we have to find the time. The overtake is happening after 6 hours. Why we are working for the 6 hours? Because in the 6 hours, this person should be moving from B to A. So the person with the speed of 30 is at B when it's the 5 hours. In the 6 hours, how much distance they have traveled? In the 6 hours, the slower one traveled is nothing but the 1 hour distance. The 1 hour distance of the slower one is of the nothing but 30 kilometers. And since it is the overtake, so in the overtake, the relative speed is what? 50 minus 30. That is nothing but 30 divided by 20. And that is nothing but 1.5. So they have taken 1.5 hour more after 6. So the first overtake would be after 7.5 hours. I hope this one is clear. So this GPS method would definitely help to solve the overtake problem. We can solve the other problems also, but that would be too much of the diagram problem. Since those questions, since the previous questions are the easier one, so we can solve with the help of normal calculation. But the overtake problem is not an easy problem, so we can solve with the GPS diagram. This one is overtake after the 6 hours, and we have the another person at 5 hours, so it's the 5 hours from this position, 6 hours from this position. So we have a gap of 1 hour. So in the 1 hour gap, the slower one, because it's a slower one, completes 30 kilometers, and with the relative speed should have to work 1.5 hours more after 6, and that would be an answer. I hope this one is clear. So this is the first overtake, this is the second overtake, this one is the third overtake, this one is the fourth overtake. So the first overtake is the odd number of overtakes, and this overtake is the even number of overtakes. I hope this one is clear. Now what we have to do, we have to find the 12th overtake. Means we have to find this overtake. We know in the 30 hours, that is in the one process, there are 2 overtakes, and we are going for the 12th overtake. So what we have to do, for the 10th overtake, we have covered the 150 hours. We are not going to solve this one right now. So we can say for the 10th overtake, we have 150 hours. And we have 21 hours extra because we have completed the process. After the process, we have to do this overtake, so we have to cover 21 hours extra. So we have 150 plus 21 hour extra, and in the one overtake we are going to take 1.5 hours more. So 1.5 hours more. So this one is nothing but 172.5 hours. For the 12th overtake, the total time from the start would be 172.5 hours. I hope this one is clear. So this is a complete concept video and the learning concept video of to and fro journey. But still, if you have any doubt, feel free to ping me. And all the best for the your cat 17. Okay. And what I say, please be calm and give your best. If you feel the questions are tough, then it would be tough for all. Solve the question which you can solve and get the best percentile which you can achieve. Okay. If you have any doubt, feel free to ping me. I hope this one is clear and all the best.